Welcome to our daily reflection for this Tuesday, July 8th. And today we hear Jacob, another great story of Jacob. He's got so many epic stories, and this time he ends up wrestling with an angel and he won't let him go. And as he wrestles, he has a name change. And Jacob will be told that because you have wrestled with man and with God, and you haven't given up, you've persevered, I'm going to change your name from Jacob to Israel. And so now Jacob has a new name, the name Israel, which means he who wrestles or contends with God. And so Israel means to wrestle with God. And I love this imagery of Jacob and God's people being called, Israelites. They wrestle with God. And God reveals himself as a father. And they're like sons who wrestle and push their strength and test their strength against their father. Sometimes they wrestle in resistance and maybe a little bit of disobedience and rebellion, but they have the freedom of sons to push back, to wrestle, to test their strength. And God gives that freedom because he's a loving father and not a tyrant. And it's striking that Israel means he who wrestles with God. I think it gets to the heart of this mystery of sonship and divine filiation and the mystery of freedom that God gives his children. Whereas Islam, as any Muslim will tell you, means to submit. And they believe that they're slaves of Allah and that we're all slaves of Allah. And here we see in the Judeo-Christian revelation, we're not called simply to be slaves, but sons and daughters of God, who is a father. He's not just a being, he's a father. He is, and we're not called simply to be slaves, but to be sons. And so we see in this name something very profound about the nature of the people that God is forming and calling, and the very nature of who God is. God who allows for his son to be Israel, he allows for sons because he has the dignity of a father. He is not a slave master who has simply obedient slaves who must simply submit, but he calls sons and daughters to love him freely, not slaves to cower in fear. And that is the great difference of our religion versus that of Islam. And that's not me belittling Islam. Islam will tell you that it means to submit and that we're slaves of Allah. And it's a limited view of God, which leads to a limited view of man. And that is to show us the importance of our faith and of this biblical revelation, because it tells the truth about God and man. May the Lord bless and keep you.
This daily reflection is brought to you thanks to the generous support of the Mission Circle. Join the Mission Circle to help Catholics worldwide understand, live, and share their faith. Sign up at missioncircle.org today.